Yeah, all right, guys, you're welcome to the 29th question, still on the challenge, and we are still solving problems on differentiation. Okay, we still have more questions to solve. Okay, we have more questions to solve. We want to obliterate differentiation, we want to delete it from the JAMB syllabus. Okay, so we are trying as much as we can to make this stuff as easy for you guys. So let's go to the question. It says if y is equal to 8x cubed minus this minus that, you all see this stuff here, right? Now they want us to find the squared y dx squared. What does this mean? This means they want you to find the second derivative of y with respect to x. So when you see something like this, right, this is the second derivative. But when you see it like this, the y, the x, this is just the first derivative. They just want you to differentiate once. But when you see it in this form, they want to differentiate the function twice. When you see it in this form, the cube y, the x cube, that means they are calling for third differentiation. They want to differentiate the function 3 good times. So I'm sure this concept is not complex to understand. So now, in this problem, they want to differentiate the function twice. In other words, they want you to find the second derivative of y with respect to x. So let's get started. Now we're given y is equal to 8x cubed minus 3x squared plus 7x minus 1. I'm sure you all know how to differentiate at this very time. So let me quickly remind you, for those of you joining this channel at this very point in time, let me show you what it means to differentiate polynomial functions like this. Now, if you have y is equal to x to the n, in this case, you can see x is the base, right? And n is the power. Differentiation is simply manipulation of powers. And let me show you how to manipulate the power when you want to differentiate. So you can see y is expressed in the terms of x. So we are going to differentiate y with respect to x. And how do you go about it? This power you see right here is going to multiply the base. So you have nx, right? Then the next thing to do is to remove 1 from the power. And that is it. That is just how to differentiate. So in other words, if I have maybe k here, a constant here, it's going to be what? Nk. The n is going to multiply k. So that would be like nk or kn, however you want to call it. So let's do a quick example on that before we move to this solution. Let's say we have y is equal to x to the 3, and we want to differentiate. How do we go about it? Then we write the y dx is equal to the 3 multiplied the base, so we have 3x. Remove 1 from 3, you have 2. That is just how to differentiate. As easy as that. So let's go to this problem now. So we can see y is expressed in the terms of x. So we are going to differentiate y with respect to x, of course. So differentiating this term here, 3 will multiply 8, and 3 times 8 is 24, right? So remove 1 from 3, that is 2. Then we have 2, the next term is 3x squared. So 2 multiplies 3, we have 6. And if you remove 1 from 2, you have 1. So there's no need writing 1 here, but let me just write it because we're still going to differentiate this function again. So the next is 7x. So you see that this x here is already having a power 1. So if you want to differentiate, the 1 is going to multiply 7. So you have 7x. And when you remove 1 from this 1, you have 0 left. And of course, this is just a constant. When you differentiate the constant, you have 0. So no problem with that. Now let's clean up this, guys. Let's clean up this stuff. So we have dy dx is equal to 24x squared minus 6x to the 1. Then plus x to the 0 is 1. So 1 times 7 is 7. So this is what we have for the first differentiation. Remember, we are doing this stuff twice because they asked us to find the second derivative of y with respect to x. So now let's differentiate the function again. So if you want to differentiate the function again, you're applying d dx to both sides. So d dx of this guy, of the y dx, is going to be, so differentiating this guy again, you have 2 multiply 24, you have 48. Remove 1 from 2, you have 1. And in this case, 1 multiply 6, you have 6. And remove 1 from 1, you have 0. And when you differentiate a constant, you get 0. So finally, this is the same as the squared y dx squared is equal to 48x minus 6. So this is the final answer. And that is still option A. So I'm sure this one is not a problem. You just have to just understand when they want to differentiate the function once or twice or the third time. So this is all for this particular video. I will see you in the next one. So bye for now.